Good morning, guys. Happy Thursday. I was going to say happy check-in, but this is not a check-in. I was going to wait and do this next week, however, I'm just going to fucking roll with it. Obviously, this is going to be my terms and conditions updated, so everyone is well aware of what the fuck I'm about, okay? So any questions, any issues off the back of this, anything you don't understand or want me to further explain, then fire a wee message across to me, okay? Also, I'm at Carol's. Carol's in another room. She's on a meeting. Leo is obsessed by her cat. I don't know how many times I've had to say, please, fucking shh. So that's how we're rolling today. Okay, so first of all, what is coaching in a nutshell? So when you get coached by me, something that you all need to know, and it is well aware, I have been living in Dubai for 18 months now. I am based in Dubai, right? And online coaching is purely online with myself. However, I do make the effort to come home. I have came home 3 times this year, but going forward, if you want to do check-ins with me, if you want to train with me, I am absolutely happy travelling and meeting in the middle and all that. However, I am going to be purely based in our Ayrshire because that is where I stay when I come here. So, Leo, sorry. So yeah, if for example you're a client doing a bodybuilding competition or a photo shoot prep and you want to see me for an in-person check-in, I will be based in Performance Gym, whether that's Gwynn one, whether that's Irvine one. I am absolutely happy to meet clients in, say, Glasgow to do a training session, whatever, but it does need to be planned in advance. As you are all aware, I do have a child, which is hard work. And again, something this trip has taught me is I don't actually have childcare here. So I also need to work about, if Leo comes with me, then I need to work around about my responsibilities as well. So I do always come home for planned events. If you're a client doing a show, PCA, whatever it may be, photo shoots, group photo shoots, these things planned in advance, individual photo shoots, as long as they're planned in advance and I 100% can make an individual photo shoot, I will, but I will come back for planned events. But so just to make that clear, as obviously you all know, I'm based in Dubai, that's where I live. Everything is purely online. However, I am happy to offer services like if you wanted to do a video check-in, if you wanted to have a phone call over Zoom or Teams. You know, if you wanted, I am always happy to go above and beyond. If you feel like you needed 2 check-ins a week, let's fucking do it. If you need to talk to me every single day, let's fucking do it, okay? I'm always happy to offer that extra bit of service, right? And as I says, I do come home. I've been home 3 times this year, right? When you are coaching, I always like to work with clients for a minimum of 2 months. I don't ask you for a 2 months payment. I ask you to just sign up for the month, but you are committing. When you're joining, you're committing to at least be with me for 2 months. I don't like working with a client on a month basis because I can't do anything. It takes time for me to learn your body, for us to settle into a routine, and that is it. You'll not find a lot of coaches, like coaches will do that. I've signed up to a coach before who was minimum 3 months and actually had to pay 3 months up front. So I do ask that when you are signing, inquiring, whatever it may be, that you are committing yourself to me for 2 months. As I says, I'm not asking for money for 2 months, but you need to have in your head, I'm going to be with Nicola for a minimum 2 months. Obviously, online coaching, you get your training, nutrition, supplementation, accountability. You get access to the app, access to community, join in with community events. I always try and make these things a bit of something for everyone. You all know what online coaching is anyway, so that is the jam with that. We're going to talk about payments and cancellations. We're going to talk about community, photo usage, business hours, and how to contact me. In terms of contacting me, I am best contacted via WhatsApp. Obviously we do have the app, but I would prefer clients to contact me WhatsApp and not anything else, because sometimes I don't actually check like Instagram messages and things, or I'll look at them later on. The quickest response is WhatsApp, okay, which you all have, and that's how you do your check-ins as well. Moving on to payments and cancellations. So when you sign up to online coaching, I always set up a direct debit system unless you are paying in full, or you're signing up to a special offer and it's maybe just one payment, then obviously we wouldn't set up a direct debit. However, I do have a direct debit system which is called Stripe. This is taken every month on the day that you sign up. So if you sign up on the 1st, then it's going to come out in the 1st every single month. If the payment does fail, Stripe attempts automatically to take that payment again in the next working day. So what I would ask is just make sure that there's there's available funds there for it to take. Otherwise, I have to then set up new direct debits, and sometimes it can delay. Like if you don't respond back to me in a time, it then delays it, and I don't get the money for another 7 days. I've had this happen before, where maybe a payment's on the 1st, but it delays, and then I don't actually get it to the end of the month. So, and that's a month being gone. And I understand, people move money about. I do it myself. I move things into side account. Just make sure if you know that first day it failed, then just fire money across. It's going to come out the next day. Whenever you sign up, that is the price your coaching will stay at, unless you move. So say for example you're a lifestyle client and you decide you want to do a photo shoot, it is a wee bit more expensive, not by much, but it is a wee bit more, right? So if you start in a lifestyle package, want to do a photo shoot, then I'll move you across to that, because the workload ramps up, especially around the photo shoot period. Your check-ins become more frequent, and then also reversing out, and then also with me being there on the shoot day. If, for example, you are someone who has, so if the price you're on just now, that's the price you'll stay at, right? If I was to ever increase my prices again, then your price doesn't increase. That's for any new customers, okay? Cancellations, so I've made this clear over the years. If you do want to cancel, I do ask for 2 weeks notice. At the end of the day, I'm a business, and if everyone was to cancel on the day of their payment, I would be eating fresh air. So if your payment is due tomorrow and you cancel today, then I will ask you that you do still have to pay that month of coaching, but you do still have access to then use the service, right? However, if your coaching is due on the 28th and you cancel on the 10th, then you're not going to be charged that extra month. If you do leave without paying and then you come back to me and you want a return, you will have to clear the balance that you owed previously, okay? I know it's shit, and I hate being like this, but I don't just do this as a hobby. This is my job. This is my life. This is what brings food to my kids' table, right? And I know that some people will leave because they're not using the service or whatever, but if you have a Netflix account, Netflix doesn't message you and say, "Yo, Nicola, you're not using this, should I just cancel?" No. So it works the same ways. Just trying to respect, this is a policy that I have. And also payments are non-refundable. So if you sign up, say you want to do a 12-week block with myself, and you give the deposit over, and then you're like, "Oh, I'm not doing that anymore, just give me money back," these things are non-refundable, okay? My business hours is something I really struggle with, but going forward I am absolutely putting these things into place. Everyone deserves time off, and that includes me as well. So my business hours always works with UK times. So again, please appreciate, this is nobody's fault, but appreciate that obviously I am ahead of you, so I am actually staying a week longer, because I know that you might need me, okay? So Monday to Friday is 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. Saturday I'm going to do 5 a.m. to 3 p.m. And Sunday I'm absolutely taking off going forward, so I won't reply to any message. This is different if you are someone on a prep, especially a bodybuilding prep, then I would be available for that closer to the date of the show or whatever. If you message out with these hours, I will respond as soon as I'm back on my work phone. You can absolutely still contact me. On a Sunday, I will put an automatic message on anyway, and I will respond as soon as I can, or use a group chat if you have any questions, or if you think that anybody else can help you, because there's girls I've coached for years, and they might be able to help you as well. Communication, you all know, is very, very important to me. I am a very responsive coach. Even me being halfway across the world, I'm not going to blow a trump up marsh, but I absolutely am a fucking good responsive coach, right? But what I want to reiterate is I'm not a mind reader. If you're struggling and you don't tell me, then you can't moan about it, because I I don't know these things unless you speak about them, okay? So, and if you don't speak about them, then I can't help you. So don't be your own worst enemy. Just contact me. We air it out together. We move forward together. It is your job to check in. I shouldn't need to chase you. And I will give you an example. Franny was with a coach, didn't check in, and I was like, Franny, did he message you? And he was like, no. And he didn't check in again the next week. And I was like, has he messaged yet? No. So I do ask you, if you've not checked in, like, everything okay? But it is your job. That's what you're paying for. So get used to the service. I want to work. I want to do my job. But you also. This is a team effort. It's a two-way street. We are a partnership. And I can't want your goals more than you want your goals. You have to want your goals for results, okay? You can communicate the good, the bad, the ugly, the stressful, the amazing times. Tell me everything. I want to know, okay? Community. Now, I want community to be a safe place. Anything discussed within the group stays within the group. We're all here for our own reasons. I want to create a supportive, encouragement, uplifting place for women. So obviously anything that gets spoken about remains discussed in here. Help one another, organise things even though I'm not here. Keep up to date with announcements, whether it's in the group chat or the Facebook group. I know that group chats are sometimes a pain in the arse and sometimes people will mute them, but just keep up to date with things that maybe I'll be posting out. Photo usage, so obviously I'll always ask permission to post your pictures, and I always respect your decision if you don't want these posted. I can crop your head out, I can not tag. I know everyone's has their own opinions in these kind of things, and I don't mind it. If I've used your pictures before and you leave coaching, what I ask is that you agree that I can use them going forward. Say I was to post up transformations of the full year, and I've already posted yours previously and I'm going to post it again, then you're agreeing that that's okay when you leave, okay? Any issues, obviously you can communicate. I think that's for now. What I just want to go over, as I says, in terms of coaching, what we need to remember, right? I am here for a fitness coach, but I'm also here to help you through life, right? But I'm also a human as well, and I go through things on the daily, on the weekly, on the monthly. You all know that, and I'm always very real and raw and open about these things. And I always like to try and be relatable and relate back to you and be able to help you. But it's funny because I always say, like, I do go above and beyond, and that's because that's what I want to do. And I don't know where I'm going with this. It's just to remember that, a lot of people are just about fitness goals, but I am giving you more than that, because that's what I want that's how I want a coaching brand to be. That's what I want to be about, is helping you beyond that, helping you with your life. So yeah, fuck knows where I'm going with that, but that is the be all and end all of this. I understand we all go through life, I understand we all go through shit, and I'm okay with that. I will help you the best way I can, and I will go above and beyond. I don't care if anyone thinks that should be a part of your service. That is a part of my service, okay? So any questions, any issues, let me know. If there's anything further that I need to discuss, then I will fire this up. But thank you guys, and happy Thursday.